remember going to a party one night, Liam, and I pulled this white powder out, and, peer pressure, and like, I'm the only one that's taking it here, and I ended up taking it, and see that night, I always remember, like, something just, it was great. The feeling I got from
invincible. I feel invincible.
And it brought me back to my boxing days, it was
the high you were getting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like winning.
Yeah, it started 1 bag, then 2 bags, then 3 bags for a night out.
When the lines get fatter.
Yeah. Because my tolerance level started getting heavier.
So you needed stronger stuff.
So I needed then more gear or a bigger line. Addiction too, Liam. You have the blinkers on. You don't care.
No one, nothing matters. Nothing matters. Like,
addiction is your.
And it sounds selfish saying that, like. But
absolutely,
see if she says that you're going to lose the kids, you're going to lose me. You're like, when's the next line?
Yep.
In your head, like, I don't know.
Welcome to Rewired For Freedom. I'm Liam Keeley, and this isn't some polished recovery podcast. This is real talk about breaking free from addiction, rewiring the mind, and getting your life back on your own terms. No scripts, no pretending, just straight conversations with people who've been through the madness, faced their demons, and found freedom on the other side. If you're done playing small, done being controlled by the beast, and ready to start thinking for yourself, you're in the right place. Let's get into it.
So today we have Kev on. Kev, he started out brilliant in life, had everything going for him. Something went wrong, and he ended up on the drugs. He found it hard to get off, but now he's found faith in God, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And it's helping him. So Kev wants to share his story today. Kev, how was life before you hit the drugs?
Before I hit the drugs, Liam, I had a good upbringing. I'm from the New Lodge, I had a good upbringing of 2 brothers and 3 sisters. Mum and Dad brought me up well. Christmases, they got me everything we could get and stuff,
Yeah.
But I always remember in an early age getting bullied, Liam, and I always remember going to a wee friend in primary school saying, listen, these boys are waiting on me outside, and he says, listen, I'm going to go to a boxing club. Would you fancy coming?
What school did you go to?
Admin Primary School. It was primary school.
Pimp Street.
Down Pimp Street.
Yes.
So I says, I have to ask my mum and dad first, because the dangers of boxing and stuff. So I went to my mum and dad, and they were like, palming me off. Listen, there's no chance.
Yeah.
So I think I was on at them for a bit too long, and they were like, listen, you'll go, you'll get a dig in the face,
and you quit.
But lo and behold, I ended up, getting into boxing. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed, that release. It done something for me. I joined the Dockers 30 years ago. 32 years ago. Well, I feel old here. So yeah, about 32 years ago, it was 9-10 when I joined. Paddy Fitzsimmons, Tommy Kelly. I don't know Tommy Kelly.
No, I've heard the name. Like,
but yeah, I joined boxing. I really enjoyed it. I started to win a few fights at first. So lo and behold, I ended up becoming an international fighter for Ireland. So I did.
Yeah.
With over 200 odd fights throughout my career. Been on teams with plenty of athletes, elite athletes who are now world champions, like Andy Lee, and good friends are like Paddy Barnes and stuff.
Yeah.
We've been good friends, and boxing was a big part of my life. Halfway through my boxing career, I met a girl from Ardoyne, and she got pregnant and ended up with a wee daughter, Orla. But I started drinking then at that stage,
Oh, you not see?
I was a late drinker, Liam. I didn't really.
So through your teens, you weren't drinking?
No, I didn't. I was totally anti-drinking.
Right, you were fixated just in the boxing.
On boxing, because they were talking me going on to do great things, and that was my focus at the time,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I moved into Ardoyne with my partner, and I started getting involved with the wrong people, always started going out a bit too much when I should have been in the gym.
So we boxing and drinking then, like, I mean, must have been late into your teens, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was late on. I was about 18. As I say, this was when I was coming to the end of my amateur career. A few injuries that I picked up that kept me out of the game for a while, so it led me to drink.
Yeah.
So as I say, I moved into Ardoyne. I started going out a bit too much. I did local clubs in Ardoyne. And the one thing I brought onto the streets was my boxing. I always got involved in a bit of bother in the street, and
did you?
I always had people wanting to have a go at me as well, wanting to pick a fight, because then they're like, if I can do that, man, it makes me. I got a bit of a reputation, like, not that I'm proud of it, back then, being like a hard man, they would always Flappers, Maxie the hard man, you know, and
Yeah.
nothing I'm proud of, you know, and
Uh,
nothing that I like really publicising or talking about, like because it's, you know, it's nothing. I was in the town the other day and somebody says, "Where's Remy?" And I'm like, "Listen, that's old life for me." You know what I mean? But as I say, I kept getting into power in Northern and stuff, fighting. I remember getting into a fight one night, Liam, and the guy ended up in hospital. So he did. And I was like, right, that's me. I'm going to knock this in the head. I had an opportunity in the same professional
yes.
with Matchroom Promotions, which today is probably one of the biggest outfits in the world, you know. But it would have been Barry Hearn back then. It wouldn't have been Eddie. It was his dad who I'd signed with,
Yes.
you know. And that was a big opportunity for me, you know, to
That's
go and do
massive.
great things.
That's
It's
massive.
you know. And but there was also a lot of pressure that came with that too, you know, because there was talk that, you know, you could be world champion, you could do this and you could do that, you know. So that never stopped me drinking though. I still, you know, I remember having my first fight. So I did down in Holiday Inn in Belfast, which I won. And I had an opportunity to go over to London York Hall, which is a famous boxing venue for Bethnal Green for professional outfits. You know, it's
Yeah.
I went over there and I remember drinking a few days before the fight. And I went over and I wasn't getting there until like 12 at night. And I got bait. I ended up getting bait. Obviously, you know, when you're in the boxing game, you can't drink, you can't take.
No, you shouldn't be. Like,
It's a serious game. You know, you need to be 100% committed to boxing. You know, but one thing it did teach me was discipline and stuff. You know, boxing's a great sport.
was that you still in your teens when this was all happening? But
No, I would have been in my early 20s.
oh, would you?
In my early 20s when I signed professional. As I said, a few injuries, Liam, so I did throughout my teens. Kept me out of the amateur game for a while, so it was like, listen.
Oh, it set you back again a bit.
Yeah, put me back in the amateur game and just thought, you know, listen, I think I've done my time in the amateur game. You know, as I say, I had over 250 fights.
That's a lot. That's a lot of fights.
I remember Paddy Fitz used to come and pick me up every other day and says, "Right, you're fighting." Just come at night and say, "Listen, you're fighting here at 6 o'clock." And I go, good on you. You know, so listen, I remember fighting on a show in Dublin, or Donegal, Katie Taylor was on the card. But way back then, there was no women's boxing. I remember having to put the bandana on that, and she was sweet lad fighting. And I was fighting a young lad.
Fuck off. Are you serious?
Yeah. So yeah, I signed with Matchroom anyway.
Fuck.
You know, I signed the contract with Matchroom. As I say, had that fight in the Belfast City Hall, in Belfast City Centre.
Yeah.
And then York Hall, I got bait. And then I was offered a few fights in Limerick and Ireland and stuff, you know. But I remember at the fight, I started going out and drink. I started then.
Well, it hit you hard, that one?
Yeah. I started then lifting my hands again in the street and getting into a bit of power. And this time the guy took me to court. You know, him and his uncle took me to court, and it led me to being prosecuted. I had to plead guilty to GBH with intent. You know, at the time I pled guilty to a lesser charge. You know, and I had to do that. You know, because I just started a job before the boxing, but my career ended. It was a Royal Mail and a good job there. Like I was a manager. I ended up going up to a manager, and Royal Mail had a good job, so I had to plead guilty to like a lesser charge. But the British Boxing Board of Control stepped in and says no, says this, you go out there and revoke your license.
Fuck me.
Yeah, so the license was revoked.
For how long? How long did they revoke it for?
They revoked it for a couple of years.
Did they?
So that was like the
fuck.
That was like
that was it over?
You know. But after that, I remember people putting drugs in front of me, and I'm like, no, it's not for me, you know. But I remember going to a party one night, Liam, and I pulled this white powder out, and, you know, peer pressure, and like, I'm the only one that's taking it here, you know, and I ended up taking it, and see that night, I always remember, like, something just, it was great, the feeling I got from
invincible. I feel invincible.
And it brought me back to my boxing days, you know. It was
the high you were getting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like winning.
Yeah.
It's like it's a shortcut.
Yeah.
It's a shortcut to the winning, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Shortcut to double.
Like, you know, because I was used to fighting in big arenas and stuff, you know, and just trying to replace that or something. And I felt like that was the replacement, you know what I mean? Little did I know that was going to be the start of my life. Slowly but surely, I'm spiraling out of control. I thought I had control of cocaine, but slowly but surely it fairly got a grip on me.
It's good at the start. It is good at the start, like for anybody, like but it's quickly turns into fucking. Well, not quickly. You're probably talking a couple of years.
Well, I mean, I ended up in addiction for 15 years, so.
How quick did it spiral out of fucking from that night? Do you think?
It started for a few years. I was alright.
It's a party.
Out at weekends, and I thought everything's alright, and then I started getting pressure from the missus. Where are you going? What are you doing?
Because you were disappearing for 3 days at a time.
3 or 4 days you weren't coming home.
Phone
Yeah,
off. You turn the phone off.
aye.
I suppose I
Aye.
fuck's sake. Fucking
And
nightmare.
then I started like, you know, not turning in for work and all that. Like,
Exactly.
what are you doing? I wasn't even ringing in, you know. But
Well, if you were, you were in a party.
that's it. I was ringing.
You're like,
I was ringing sick line here.
aye.
I got somebody ringing letting on it was my sister.
Ah,
You know what I mean? Or my brother or
fuck's sake.
something, you know.
It's a
Mad,
fucking
you know,
nightmare.
but see the stuff you think of and the things you can do when you're in addiction. It's absolutely madness.
That's crazy,
But I
isn't
mean,
it?
I was able to hide my addiction for a brave way, you know, a lot of years. And as I said, a good job in Royal Mail. My daughter was born. I had everything alright. Like life was good.
So at the start, you were a functional addict.
Yeah.
I was
Like,
a
remember
functional
even buying
addict.
a caravan down in Newcastle and all, me and the partner, and it was great for the kids to get down. And you know, but I always remember wanting to drop her down so we could get back up. You know, that one was working that weekend was the party.
I know.
It was mad.
I know.
You know, just to escape. And
I need.
I think I bought the caravan
to get
for
rid of
that
her.
reason.
No.
For that reason.
It's like a subconscious thing. It's like a.
I'm like,
You're like, if we get the caravan here,
yeah.
I can fucking hit the gear when
Yep.
she's down there.
It's crazy.
It's mad. It's like calculated.
£10,000 caravan. Like I bought her just to so I could go on the gear.
Mental.
It's mental. But I mean, that's what took me. That's the drugs. I mean, slowly but surely it started then affecting, as I say, work life, family life. I was getting put out of the house, going down to my mom's.
Living out of black bags and all this shit.
You know, and going down to my mom's. And then at the time I was going down to my mom's and she didn't have a clue. I was obviously saying everything, it was all her fault and reality.
Do you know what sounds so much like my
me.
story too as
You know
well?
what I
So
mean?
this.
And I remember
I know.
him coming home from work, thinking of a story to fight with her, so I could go out in the gear.
I know.
The partner. That's
I know.
mad.
Oh, I know.
And then she felt guilty. Oh, what have I done?
But then you gaslight them.
Aye, and I'm like,
You
madness.
start going. It's on your head.
Aye,
It's on.
aye,
You
aye.
start twisting it round,
So
don't
it's
you?
absolutely madness, the stuff you put people through. Addiction doesn't only affect you; it affects family,
It's
friends.
a ripple. It ripples out.
It ripples right out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So addiction, as I say, it was street cocaine back then, Liam. You know, when I started taking drugs, you know, but it started 1 bag, then 2 bags, then 3 bags when I did. You know,
When the lines get fatter.
yeah, because my tolerance level started getting heavy.
So you needed stronger
So
stuff.
I needed then more gear or a bigger line, you know. But I always remember like all these drug dealers and all, and they were giving me gear. Oh, sure, you can get cocaine easier than you can get a pack of figs now, and that's reality.
I know you get it right to the
You
door.
get it right to the door, and you don't even need to pile them there and then.
I know.
I was getting stuff.
You gotta put it through here. Put that through the letterbox.
Yeah. I was getting a guy to drop it into my car. My car's open just.
Or sell it in the car wheel.
Glove box, and I'm going, and she's in the house. Who's at your car? Nobody. You know what I mean? But I was getting stuff dropped off to the house, and then I was racking up bills, and then I was, you know, obviously me having that little reputation. I'm like, hold on, I'm not gonna pay these drug dealers. I ended up taking drug dealers on then, you know.
Fuck, did you?
Drug dealers would have rocked up with me with 3 or 4 guys. Like, it would never came on their own with me because I ended up having a reputation of just
whacking them.
taking care of them. I didn't even need to rack them in. I didn't even need that if my hands were just like intimidated them a wee bit, you know, because they knew my background at the time, you know. And I'm like I remember wrapping up one time. That's a story. Like, I'm wrapping up at the Shaw's Bridge, the Ramada Hotel or the Thing Hotel. What do you call it?
I know. I
Up at Shaw's.
don't know. I think it is the
Crown Plaza. Is it? So I wrapped up there one time with an old girl I was going with, and I had it on my head. The child locks in the back door and just wrapped up, and the drug dealer get in the back. And I told him the car was surrounded with PSNI surveillance team. I says, "On the weird gear." So the stuff I was doing, like, you know, to get gear was mad. Absolutely madness. That's where drugs ended up taking me. And then, I mean,
were you making much money in the boxing?
no, the boxing at the time, obviously.
Oh, you weren't making much money, so you
Nah.
didn't have like loads of money to spend on
No,
it.
I
Like,
didn't. But then when I got that manager's job, Liam, in Royal Mail, that brought more money. So more money brought more drugs.
exactly.
You know what I mean? That next wee house in Ardoyne and stuff, you know, put a few quid into it, and but then every penny was just disappearing. I was doing overtime and letting on to a partner that, you know, I only got X amount paid to me. I was getting good money in Royal Mail, like, as a manager.
But there you go, the calculated thing
Aye,
again.
aye,
You started the wages started off
Yeah.
small, so they stayed small the whole time.
Yeah, you know, the more money, as I say, just brought more gear, and then with more gear brought more trouble. You know, I was running about Ardoyne just taking gear of drug dealers, so I did, and then obviously she threw me out and said, "Listen, I've had enough, and obviously I can't let my daughter from me because a threat of drug dealers maybe talking to me, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But I always remember we daughter sneaking down all over, you know, we daughter sneaking down to me. You know, father's love. She's the daddy. She was a wee daddy's girl. You know, we girls are more attached to their daddies. I
Oh,
think, aren't they?
here,
I
fuck
remember rapping
me.
down, please
Oh,
don't
no.
tell mummy I come down to see you. You know. Sometimes I was hiding away from her because it was out of my head and drugs. It's
Jeez.
heartbreaking, like,
That
you
is
know, Liam.
heartbreaking, isn't it?
I mean, I remember on many occasions, like 2, 3 in the morning, I'd have been all 9, and she'd have messaged me these big messages, Daddy, you don't understand. Like, I can't even sleep at night, saying,
Shit.
worried getting on a phone call, you know, that you're going to be found dead.
That's
you know?
scary, isn't
And
it?
the wee girl,
That gives you
don't-
goosebumps thinking of it,
shouldn't
doesn't
have
it?
to be going through that, like, at the time. But addiction too, Liam, you've the blinkers on, you don't care.
No,
Or what-
no
think about
one,
anybody.
nothing matters. Nothing matters,
your
like.
addiction is your.
And it sounds
your-
selfish saying that, like. But
Absolutely, you know.
see if she says that you're going to lose the kids, you're going to lose me. You're like, when's the next line?
Yep.
In your head, like,
Yeah,
I
and
don't
obviously,
know. What I
we're
mean?
speaking from experience. We've been there, you know. We've lived the life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember then in 2019, it was just before that, drugs started to get really serious with me. It was like pure cocaine. It was no longer street. It was pure. I needed obviously my tolerance level.
Street wouldn't do you at all.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing for me. I remember going on to the pure. Started missing work more. They put me in their rehab.
Worked it? Did they know about it?
They had to end up owning up them, and had to end up because I kept just not weighing in.
Fuck, that was good though to put you in the rehab.
So I remember 2 managers bringing me in the office, Liam, and I just broke down crying and said, "Listen, I'm a drug addict," and they're like, "What?" They couldn't believe it, you know, because obviously the life I lived, but I was good at hiding it, you know. So they were like, "Right, listen, go out in a sec," and they rang me and says, "We can get you in the rehab up in Derry, Northlands."
I've heard a lot about that.
So I went up there, Liam, but I went up for the wrong reasons. It was to keep other people off my back. I wasn't ready.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I remember my wee mom, God rest her, like, you know, driving me up that day. So she did. And just the delight in her face, knowing she was going to maybe get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Me being in there, you know. But as soon as I'd done a 6-week program, and I remember just driving back up the road.
Straight on the phone, were
I
you?
was on the phone to the dealer. Like, give me X amount of gear. They picked the girl up, went and booked a hotel for a couple of nights because my mum was on my tail, looking at me, going over, you know, and I just knew then. I says, right, reality is, I knew driving up the road from Dublin, from Derry, that I knew next was my job. I just knew that my job was going to be next. You know, reality is they had done everything they could, and they said to me, Liam, was like, "Listen, Kevin, we have done everything we can. If you relapse this time,
yeah,
there's really no choice but to get rid of you." So I remember driving up that road under that gear, going, "Oh, my job's next. Sure, don't worry about it." Felt invincible. Here's me. They'll not sack me. They'll not sack me.
That's that our voice,
So
the
when
voice in your head.
just sitting on your shoulder saying, "Just go and do it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I went and done it anyway, and then a few weeks later, my mom was diagnosed terminally ill with cancer. 3 big things happened to me, and really had a big impact on my life. It was when my life really
spiraled, even further.
Spiraled further than what it was. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, and I always remember Liam going down to her. Like 6 weeks, she passed within 6 weeks.
Fuck.
I remember going down and seeing her in her house. We ended up taking her home, and I remember sitting there getting pictures of her, and I'm out of my head, Liam with gear in my pocket. And it always stuck with me, like, sticks with me now, like, you know, if that woman had an opportunity to live, she'd have crossed it with both hands. And there's me sitting with a bag of gear, throwing my life away.
I know.
I'll never ever forget, like, you know, even her funeral, I was just numbing around, just trying to suppress all.
You had to deal with that then when you got off the gear, didn't you? It all came back.
This was the thing, I had to carry all the guilt, all the shit.
But it came back with vengeance, didn't it?
It did. But even at that, she was diagnosed with cancer. I always remember getting breaking my heart to her and saying, "Mummy, this is my fault." Because when I put it into Google, it's like stress and worry brings on cancer. And then I went, "Mummy, this is my fault." No, so then I had all that. I carried all that for a while.
Shit.
You know what I mean? And then she passed, and about 2 weeks later, the housing executive came out. A family home of 35 years. We're taking notice. These are being evicted.
Fuck me, what?
2 weeks later, and then 6 weeks after that, I get sacked from the job. So in the space of a couple of months, I'd lost my mom to cancer, our family home, a job of.
What the fuck? But here, it's mad. Like, I mean, that was a turning point. That was a turning.
Yeah,
I was You see the way that's impacting now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it all happened that close for a reason, didn't it?
Yeah. So then
Because
what
it scarred you,
That's
didn't it?
It did. Well, I ended up partying on for a while. I ended up.
Ah, but it's never. You
No.
can see now it's how the impact it's had on you.
Absolutely.
Can you?
Absolutely, Liam. You know, we ended up. Me and my brother was in the house staying. He was trapped in addiction. I was trapped in addiction. So it wasn't a good place for either of us. You know, he was coming in back at here, and I'm laying in bed here.
It was all around. It was all around gear.
So it was all around gear, you know, and then the house became a bit of a crackdown. You know what I mean? It became a bit of a dump for druggies just to, you know, I was bringing people back to use, and you know, it ended up, COVID kicked in, as I say. Kept getting letters saying we're being affected, but we just kept staying in the house for a while.
Squatting it.
So we tried to get. My brother had evidence that he was staying there for years, you know. I had evidence that it was a drug addict, that if I went into a hostel, I would be dead because I was on cocaine at the time, Liam, you know. And I know what hostels brought. Hostels brings heroin, tablets, and they scared me. So they did. But went in front of a judge anyway, and he says, nah, in this interior house hostel. And I remember kicking off that day, like, you know, in the courts.
Did you?
I quickly calmed down, like, because I knew I didn't. And jail scared me. I'd never ever been in jail, and jail scared me, you know. And I just thought, listen, I'm not going to jail here. The wee security guard says, listen, I totally understand why you're so angry. Like, family home of 35 years, you know. But anyway, that led my brother to go back to the house, squatting in it for a while. But I didn't want to go back to that house because it's just, I knew we were going to be getting kicked out soon, and you know, I didn't want them coming, pulling me out of the house, trailing me out of the house, you know, the police or anything. And I ended up then just rolling the streets of Belfast, you know, sofa surfing.
Did you?
Yeah, sleeping in doorways at times in Belfast city centre, which brought me to a really dark place.
And were you still sniffing the gear,
I was sniffing, which led to me.
Did you just sniff it?
Well, that's when, I mean, when I get onto the streets, it was sniffing. But then I started seeing people injecting.
Injecting the coke?
And I'm like, oh, what's that doing? You know, jacking in
their
groin. And I started, it hits your bloodstream quicker. And
holy fuck.
so then that's what ended up happening, Liam. I ended up dabbling and injecting a few times, you know, at the time. And I just went, listen, this life isn't for me. You know, I need a way. There's going to be a better life than this.
So see the pool, see from sniffing it to injecting it, is the pool stronger?
It is stronger.
You know, the urge for it, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't really like sticking needles in myself either. I was scared me a wee bit, you know.
No, because I was speaking to someone the other week and he was heroin and he was showing me his hips because he had no veins left. But he was telling me that it was what do you call it? An artery runs down here, but it has a vein going around it, and you have to try and get the vein going around the artery. I was going, that's mental, like.
I mean, even for a drug addict to know that, where the vein is.
Yeah, there's a vein going around the artery, but sometimes you hit the artery. It's fucking mental.
Absolutely scary. But see what you see in the streets. I mean, too, what goes on in the streets, like. It's not a nice place, you know.
No.
As I say, I was going from food table to food table. My family had totally just disowned me because, you know, they tried everything. Yeah, I just pushed them all away. My kids no longer wanted anything to do with me. But I think that needed to happen. You know, tough love.
It does. It's happened for a reason.
Realize that I have nothing left now. You know, and I remember
that's some fall on it from fucking from the boxing to fucking
career, manager's job and
all to do with the coke and the coke. It's a fucking coke.
Like rock bottom. Like I remember running the streets and I remember jumping from party to party, and I remember going to this party one day and it was a 3 or 4 day bender, and I just had enough of like listen, booked me a taxi, and I remember the taxi driving down the Crumlin Road, and when I was driving down the Crumlin Road, I just felt something. I was just like, I don't feel good here, you know. I was told the taxi driver just drop me off at the Mater Hospital.
No way.
And he says, you alright? I says, I'm alright. But as soon as I hit the doors, Liam, of the Mater Hospital, started taking seizures.
Did you?
Obviously, the cocktail of drugs I had, crystal meth. I was taking crystal meth as well. Started taking tablets. So with a cocktail of drugs that I had in my system, my body just gave up. And it wasn't like later on that night that I came around.
So did you collapse at the door, did you?
The doorway.
Fuck, it was a good place to collapse, wasn't it? I mean, you're lucky.
I know if I had went home that night to the house, I was going to go home to my brother's place. He had a key, and he wasn't there.
You probably wouldn't be here now.
If I went to back there, I know I wouldn't be where I am today because I'd have took a seizure in that house and what had been found. You know, God, I just think God had had his hand on me, God. I just think, I stopped at that hospital for a reason. I knew there was something going on. And I remember that was my daughter's birthday. I mean, I hadn't been in her life in a few years. And imagine dying on your daughter's birthday.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I came around anyway, and there was a few doctors there, and I heard them saying category A, category A. And my mate was there. He ended up coming to the hospital. Don't even know how he found out I was in the hospital. But I think he tried to contact me and he couldn't get me, so he tried to ring the hospitals and the police stations, because he was concerned. He wanted to come home with me. I was like, I'm all right. I woke up and I remember him sitting beside me, and I told him just to Google category A, and it was like resource. They're bringing me in to resource me next. My heart was sky high. And I just remember praying that day and just says, listen, God, if you're real, there's bound to be a better life than this. Like, before even in addiction, I forgot to say, many times I tried to end my life. Many times.
Before addiction?
But not before addiction. Before I actually had that seizure. Sorry, not before
Oh,
addiction.
yeah, leading up to that.
Leading up to that seizure, like, life for me was just turmoil. I was in a dark place,
I just didn't want to be here
I
anymore.
just didn't want to be here. I remember my wee daughter's dog. I remember I tried to kill myself in my own home at the time, and my wee daughter's dog come over. God, I think God used that dog to get me that, from killing myself. I remember just coming around, and that wee dog was pawing at me, barking, and I came around. I think sometimes it was like for a cry for help, I wanted to, I always said to my friend, go do this and do that, and it was more so, I don't think I would ever have done it. It was just to try and scare them and try and, but at times it did just feel like, I've had enough of this life.
It's like hell. It's like living in hell, isn't it?
Absolute living hell, Liam. As I say, I was taking care of drug dealers. So I was sleeping at night sometimes in that road with a samurai sword, baseball bat, and a fire extinguisher. I don't know why a fire extinguisher. I had a fire extinguisher. I think it was to scare them down.
And there's you sitting with two fucking weapons.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? But everybody loves a knife.
That's the way I live.
I know.
What I mean? And I remember praying to God that time in the Mater Hospital. And I'd been getting into a wee hub, a wee drop-in in the city centre called Hope Chapel Lane. So
Yes.
near St Mary's, facing St Mary's there. Just off Castle Place.
Yes, in there, yep.
Near Madden's Bar.
Oh, so you come out Castle Courts on the left?
Yes. So I remember getting in there. I'd been in there for ages to get some hot food. But when I prayed that night, I remember 3 or 4 days later getting in. And Pastor Brian Madden coming over and telling me about this teen challenge. It's a Christian Rehabilitation Centre. And he says, Kevin, I've seen you this way back. And you need a program. You need to get away. You're going up there. And I was... Like, if I could show you some pictures of me, like, I said to Brian, I'm all right. The reality was, I wasn't all right. Like, I was way down to 8 stone. Face completely sunk in with a crack pipe in, smoking it as well.
Would you end up smoking it?
So my whole face and all. And he says, Kevin, you're not all right. You need a program. And then a couple of weeks later, it wasn't actually seen a lad from Ardoyne come into the hub. Anthony Rocks, he doesn't mind me mentioning him because I mentioned him quite a lot because he was the reason why I went to Teen Challenge. Because the last time I'd seen Anthony Rocks, I'd seen him in Thorndale or coming out of a building site with a big power drill. The builder was running after him. So he was trapped in addiction for years. And I seen him a day coming into Hub because I haven't seen him in a while. And I was like, what? What have you done with yourself?
Oh, did he look good?
Transformation.
Oh, no way, seriously. That's amazing, isn't it, when you see someone like that?
Life, you could see life in his face.
Yeah, life back in the eyes and all.
And he goes, Jesus, I've got Teen Challenge, went on a program. And then I went to Pastor, give me a form.
I want that he's got.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
So was it from then, do you think?
So I went.
Did you dip my toes back in again?
I did. Ended up, I got the forms filled out. So I did. Got a date for the 17th of April. So
how far was the gap? It was a couple of months.
But I remember even 4 or 5 days leading up to before I went complete binge.
Because your mind's going
last
blowout.
I always remember though, I lost my passport 3 weeks prior to going, but I can't remember losing it. I brought my passport into town. They left £4 out of my account because obviously I wanted to get something to eat, and I can't remember losing it.
Yep.
And it wasn't until the Sunday, the day before I was due to go. I'm running about the house looking at this passport, and I'm ringing Pastor Brian Madden. Brian, you need to get me out of here because there's people looking at me, this and that. And he says, have you an out of date passport? And I says, yeah, I do. So I lifted the out of date one, which was about 4 years out of date. And I'm like, this won't get me on a plane. But anyway, I rocked up at the airport.
Ah.
The wee man at the check-in took my bag. I don't even think he's seen the passport was out of date for so long. He says, "Go ahead, mate, you're all right." And I remember coming through the check-in or the departure thing to go down to the departure gate, and a withheld number rang me. And I never ever answered withheld numbers in case it was dealers looking at me or.
Yep.
And I remember going, "Listen, I'm going to answer this." And I answered it. That was police service from Musgrave Police Station.
Had your passport?
It was only handed in that morning.
Fucking hell.
So I mean that had been sitting in the town for 3 weeks, right? When I got the passport back, it was soaking, it was saturated, right? I get down to the gate, the girl says, "There's no way you're getting on this plane with that old passport." So I had to ring Pastor Brian to go and get my new passport that had just been handed in. And I know if I did not get in that plane that morning, Liam, I wouldn't be here today.
Where did you go?
I went to a place called Winchester House.
Was it in England, is
It's
it?
in Scotland.
So
it's like
is it like a rehab thing,
yeah,
is it?
So the thing is, that's just like a 4 to 6 week rehab. We have for a 44-week program, which is going away. But Liam, at the time, I didn't realise it was a Christian place. And me coming from a Catholic background, people were going, "Oh, where are you going?" And I went over, and I always remember getting into this house, getting dropped off at this house, and the house, and you're worshiping the Lord and all. And I'm like, I think I'm dropped off the wrong house. I think I'm in another place here. I remember them praying for me and all that night and stuff, and I just seen.
And you're sitting going, "What the fuck's going on here?
What is this? Where am I?" But I remember like looking at these folk and going, "They're all happy.
Yep.
They're all happy
And fresh as
free.
fuck."
They can see their freedom. They're free and the joy and happiness they have. And I went to myself, I want that. I want that too. Like the same as seeing Anthony Rocks that time. Like I just really.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. Like,
yeah. For me. But as I say, I wanted that right away, Liam, in a program, and it doesn't work. God doesn't work like that. He just doesn't give you everything right away, So I had to, as I say, when I went on that program, I had a lot of baggage with me, like my mum's death and blaming myself and that. I couldn't get over that at the time,
Yeah.
So as I say, for about 3 or 4 months in the program, I really struggled. I really, really struggled. But one thing I didn't do was leave. I kept thinking of my worst day. My worst day in Teen Challenge was better than my best day on the streets. My worst day in Teen Challenge was better than my best day in the streets. So that's what kept me there. What kept me in the program was
get what you're saying. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So my worst day at rehab was better than my best day.
Yes. Yeah.
So
that's a good way to look at it, actually.
Kept me there. So I was like, hold on a second. 2 months ago, I'm sleeping in doorbells. I'm eating out of bins. I am blessed where I'm at now in life.
I know.
I'm in a big house, big mansion on the hills of the Scottish borders.
Oh, lovely scenery and all.
Beautiful, so peaceful.
Class.
But I remember being in my first roommate with my first roommate one night, and I've still obviously gear in my system and stuff, and this place is in the middle of nowhere. Farmers out shooting pheasants and deers coming down. And
it sounds like heaven.
I remember my first couple of nights, I heard gunshots. And I jumped up at like 3 a.m. and jumped under the bed. I thought paramedics were coming for me. I thought my roommate went, "What's going on?" Here's me, they're coming for me. And here he was, "Kevin, it's the farmers shooting pheasants. You hit her." So I had a laugh about that throughout the program. But yes, I ended up, it took about 3 or 4 months to actually start surrendering to God and letting go of all.
So it's 3 or 4 months straight off the drugs, like that was you?
Yeah.
Class.
I struggled quite a lot. That was, but as I say, what kept me there in the struggle was I knew what I was going back to if I left early because there was no changer.
No. Back, why the fuck would you swap that to go back there?
Absolutely. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, Liam, there is people.
There is people do, I don't know.
That just think that aren't strong enough and just, I will say, like, I've been in over 250 fights. It was my hardest fight, but I mean, my most rewarding fight because I'm living a life now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as I say, 4 or 5 months in, Liam, started surrendering to God, and I just felt like a big weight lifting off my shoulder. And that's been honest, I even started sleeping better at nights. As soon as my head was hitting the pillow at nights, and I was going straight out sleeping. The peace I had. God started restoring then like relationships. I remember my brother picking the phone up to me, and my older brother who's not in addiction or anything, he's living a good life, and he lifted the phone to me after not speaking to me for about 5 years, because he's seen that God started to change my life, you know what I mean?
Did he reach out and all, did he?
Yeah, he reached out.
Brilliant.
Took it off a lot for him because he didn't speak to me for about 4 years, 5 years. You know what I mean? And he reached out to me and says, Kevin, listen, no. He actually broke down and he rang my dad. He said, I've got my brother back.
Fuck
You know?
me.
But as I say,
Fucking
the
hell.
program was 44 weeks. I stayed, I completed the program. At the end of my program, I was asked that I want to stay and do 6 months called independent living, which is like helping others. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that, you know, because I was coming home for like, at the end of my program, I was coming home for a weekend and I just didn't feel strong enough
Yeah.
to go back to Belfast at the time. I says, yeah, I'll stay, help others, because I'm a people's person. I love helping others, Liam. I love getting amongst people and, you know, sharing my story and, you know, because I know for when I was in the program, like coming through the door for the first time, I needed that support from people that had been further on the program, you know, and told me where they were at in life, you know, and where God's brought them. So within the first month of staying and doing independent living, they offered me a job as an intern there to do.
That's good. That's
So
amazing,
I
like,
was
isn't it?
like, yeah. I was doing a qualification, social and healthcare, SVQ level 3.
That's
You know,
class.
I didn't have a great education, Liam. You know, I went to Barney school and stuff, and
Yeah.
I didn't leave.
What did you?
I'm 41.
Oh, right.
I didn't leave for great GCSEs.
Yeah.
You know, but I remember doing the SVQ level 3, and at first I thought, no chance I can do this. But listen, I mean, God got me through. Like I was doing assessments, and the girl the feedback she was giving me was amazing. You know what I mean?
That's a big push, like, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of people underestimate themselves, and like I'm my own worst critic. You know, I will always.
We all are. I think
you
we
know,
all are.
Like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all about stepping out of your comfort zone and just
It
saying,
is.
listen, I'm going to do it.
I'm a firm believer in it, so that's why I'm doing all this stuff. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean, Liam?
If I sit in the house comfortable watching TV on the sofa, I'm not going to get anywhere.
Absolutely.
So you need to step out and fucking.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, see me in the street in Dixon, I'd have been putting my head down. I wouldn't be able to. I couldn't even look at you in the face, you know. But if you can come on and do a podcast, and even like I was around sharing my story here in Ballymena, your night or Ballyclare your night, and just even to get up and share my story and what God's done, and just this is what it's all about. Just, I mean, because I know there's people sitting there today, like maybe watching, they're going to watch this, and you know, the platform you're giving people, is absolutely amazing, because all you see in the news is like bad news.
It's bad
you know
news.
What I mean, it's where when they see this, it
gives you hope. It gives you hope.
Giving people
hope.
You know, and it's like hope that some people think they're too far gone, and they're I'm too far gone.
Fuck me! Look where you were. Like, you know,
living proof today. Like, if you think you're too far gone, I was once that person, and you know, I ended up coming home.
Well, see, to be honest, you've like, I know a lot of people was on the coke and still are, like, but you did go a lot deeper.
Yeah.
You went deep, and like, I mean, I was a functional addict. You know what I mean? Well, till an extent, I lost jobs and all, but you know, get fucked out of the house and all, but it didn't end up on the fucking streets.
So that's insane. I mean,
but you went fucking, you know what I mean? So if you can do it, you know.
I think it took that for me to be on the streets and stuff, and then realise like how bad Belfast is.
It's fucking crazy.
It's getting worse.
I know.
It is getting worse, but I mean, I stayed for another year over there, so I ended up staying in Winchester for 2 years. But I kept coming home, Liam, to Belfast, and I thought just with my story that I was helping others. You know, here a lot of people were reaching out to me, so I was doing a lot of social media stuff.
Yeah.
And social media, I think, is a powerful tool for reaching people that are trapped and broken.
It is.
In addiction, because you get a lot of people that are just sitting in their bedroom right now, you know, sniffing cocaine and scrolling through TikTok or scrolling through, you know.
And something you say, one thing you could say could trigger something off in their head. Like, even this doing today, something's just gonna click with someone.
Yeah, I done a wee thing with Jay the barber a few weeks back, and I was picking this girl up to bring her to rehab, and I says, when I picked them up to bring them to the airport, I says, how did you find out about Teen Challenge? And she just says that she was flicking through TikTok and she seen one of Jay's videos about Teen Challenge. You know, powerful, how powerful social media is, you know. But as I say, I stayed there for 2 years, Liam, and I kept coming home, and I just felt like God was using me better here with my story. A lot of people reaching out, a lot of people, you know, and I love Belfast. Belfast is, you know, I'm from Money Lodge, lived in Ardoyne, I'm living in West Belfast now. I'm like
fuck's sake, you've been everywhere. Turncoat, you're a turncoat.
But listen, I'm living the best life. I ended up coming home in March, but before I came home, like, I just didn't have the money just to get up and leave Scotland.
Yep.
And I remember just going back to Scotland praying, and I just said, God, listen, You show me where you want me. Give me a sign. Show me a sign. I've no money, but I'm not happy here where I'm at the minute. And but a week later, Universal Credit rang me and says, you've been underpaid. We owe you £3,000.
Oh, there's a wee boost.
Never ever had a phone call like that in my life. And then I get a phone call.
That's
so
class.
I was like, God, you've answered my prayer. I know where you want me now. So yeah, I'm here now with Teen Challenge. I'm back on Teen Challenge.
Just for because it confuses me, the name.
Yeah.
But people get confused here in Teen Challenge, but it's not for teens, isn't it?
No, Teen Challenge was started about 50 odd years ago over in New York by a guy called David Wilkinson, who was getting into the Bronx in New York, reaching gang members. He opened up his own home to bring people in to stay and stuff, and many a times there was threats on his life from gang members. He was attacked by gang members, but it didn't stop him getting in, reaching these people. So he was able to work with teens back then, but with law and all now, and safeguarding.
Yep.
It's it's no longer we can work with teenagers, but over 50 years ago it was called Teen Challenge, and obviously he didn't realize at the time that it was going to be a global organization. We have rehabs in like 140 countries around the world, saving many lives daily, and they won't change the name, but I just reaffirm it that we work with adults over 18s. Hopefully we will have a rehab here soon. There's talks of getting a rehab here, but Liam, I absolutely love the work here, that's been done with Teen Challenge. And, we have a hub out down at Hope Chapel Lane, which opens on a Wednesday, 10:30 to 3, Friday, Saturday, 7:30 to 10 at night. I've been back now from March. God's using me to go back and reach others.
Do you know what? You know what you have to think as well? Everything that's happened in the past has brought you. See, if it hadn't happened,
Liam,
you wouldn't be at the point you're at now.
You know, just as you said.
And purpose. You've got purpose now.
I used to go, why did you put me through all that? Why did I go through all that life? Why did I live that life? But see, just as you say there, mate, it's just so I can go back in and share that hope and give that little bit.
Now you've got purpose.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people in the world living without purpose.
Absolutely, mate.
But like you're on the journey, I'm on a journey the same as you. You know what I mean? I feel like it happened for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just want,
At the time, though, at the start, I didn't understand it. When I first came to Teen Challenge, I was like, oh God, why did you bring me through that? But now I know why. It's help others go into the pit and share my story. And it's great to see so many recently from Belfast, walk away from that life.
It's great.
Because
it's fucking great.
The likes of yourself, Liam, giving people a platform, to share stories of hope. It's just people, if more people like you, buddy.
There's more, I think next year is going to be big for recovery. Like, there's a lot of things going on, like, in Belfast.
At the minute, Liam, I mean, we're in the city on a daily basis. It's, it ain't getting any better. It's getting a lot worse.
At the minute, it's getting worse, but I can see it turn the corner next year. Like, there's something in my, maybe the end of next year or something.
Well, hopefully, too, we'll have a rehab open for next year, Teen Challenge, which is in the pipeline, which is needed. As I say, Belfast is a city.
I could need about 100 rehabs. Fuck's sake, don't it?
Belfast is a city that's broken. Not Belfast, Ballyclare, Ballymena, Larne. It's everywhere. Cocaine's a massive one, but ketamine, spice.
I think ketamine's coming. It's starting to fucking. It's more and more now, isn't it? Like,
the ketamine would be with the younger generation, the younger ones.
Yeah, it does far more damage. Like,
absolutely. There's people that came to me and they're in nappies now because the ketamine's destroyed their bladder.
But it doesn't repair.
It doesn't repair. You can't reverse it. There's nothing you can do. And it seems to be a younger generation using it because it's cheaper, it's longer lasting. But the dangers is absolutely madness.
Yeah. So for any young ones listening out there, this is what it does to you, like ketamine.
Listen, I mean, if for any young ones listening, the dangers of ketamine is absolutely catastrophic. It's like, I mean, as I say, it destroys your bladder. I'm working with a couple of young lads. And
you piss blood. You end up pissing blood.
Yeah, shards are like glass as well. They're telling me like shards are like
hell.
Yeah, and pisses the blood. And I mean, as I say, there's a young lad who can't control his bladder no more, that he's in a nappy, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking that a young lad that he is doesn't probably see the dangers, obviously, because he's in addiction, he's in that dark place, But
he just can't stop.
Yeah, just can't stop, But I'm working with another young lad who's 100 days clean tomorrow.
Fucking
I mean, if you're struggling with addiction and you think that there's no way out, reach out to the likes of Liam, or if you want to get in touch with me, just reach out through Liam. And that way, lad, as I say, he was on ketamine. And when I told him the dangers of ketamine at the time, he didn't realise he was just taking it and putting it up his nose, He's 100 days clean tomorrow, and his life is totally somersaulted, like he's totally flipped his life
I
around
love
for the
hearing that,
better.
like, you know.
You know, I see him on social media and he's down making good memories with his wee sister now.
Oh,
You know what I
Jesus,
mean?
what?
Bringing his wee sister to his first day at school or a few months ago and
Class.
all, wee things like
That's
that.
the
You know?
rewards. That's the rewards.
Absolutely.
What rewards have you been getting?
Oh, listen, I mean,
I
my
mean, the
reward-
list of rewards is fucking.
listen, see the rewards now. Like, see the life I'm living, Liam. Like, you know, as I say, I was on the streets homeless. I'm now living in West Belfast in a home. I'm driving again. Helping others. I love helping others. I love
Well, that's a
going back.
reward.
That is a massive reward. You know what I mean? It's a part-time position I'm in, but I do full-time hours. But I love it.
No,
love it, you
I
know
don't
what
fucking stop
I'll
ever.
be
Like,
honest with you, Liam, like I'm reaching many with my story, but it's not about me. I don't get the glory for this. I don't take the glory. Like it's God gets the glory for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as I say, there's many other people I had a party with and they've just walked away from my life. Now it's good because I seen what it done. You know, the others as well. What it's done to my life. You know.
yeah.
But life at the minute now, as I say, I've been home from March of my own home. That's to have not just my own home. I've got my family, back in my life. You know, and rest. God just restored everything. You know, something that I'd lost, and you know, I've another wee family member who's still in addiction, and I just pray that he can break the cycle too. You know, because it's not a nice place to be. You know, you mightn't see it now, but if you're in the early stages of addiction, I mean, seek help. Don't let it spiral. Don't let it get any further deeper into your life, because I will be honest with you, you'll end up like me. You'll lose everything. You might think you're invincible, but you will slowly but surely lose absolutely everything.
And you're one of the lucky ones, like, because some people don't come out. I've had friends that's, you know, haven't come out the other end of it, like.
Yeah, I'm going to a funeral today. Person trapped in addiction on the streets, and you know, it breaks your heart. It absolutely breaks your heart. I love the work I'm doing, but see, when you hear this, because we would build up a relationship with these folk on the streets.
I know, and you take
know,
it personally when people do fall off
Yeah.
the wagon, don't you? I mean, not
Yeah.
personally, but it affects you, like.
We have a great relationship. See, with the folk on the streets of Belfast, the respect they have for us. Like, I mean, you get a lot of people looking down at them and judging them. You know what I mean?
I know.
Don't be, because I could come to your door one day. I mean, get down, offer him a wee cup of tea. Stop, don't even need to offer him a cup of tea. Don't just have a wee chat with him.
I know, because they're just fucking you're human. They're human.
Listen,
And
we need to love these folk back to life. And that's what we need to do. Show them love. Because that's what I needed. You know, that's what I needed. I needed to show them love back to life. And that's what these folk need. Just a wee hug. And that's what I do. Like, people look at me and go, what are you doing giving me a hug? But listen, I was once that person.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
And
So
it means a lot. You know, it means a lot.
Listen, Liam, I mean, a lot of people have see a lot of people on the streets. Like, they all know me. Like in Belfast, I'm quite known because I'm a boxing and around the town. And they all just go like, oh, I know the life you lived. And it just installs hope. Some of them aren't ready to just take that step at the minute, Liam. You know, but there's a few now I've signed up to get away to Teen Challenge. This week we've got 4 people away. You know, and that's 4 lives.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That we can, you know, and that we change, as I say, but it's called Teen Challenge. It's in the name, it'll challenge you. If it doesn't challenge you, Liam, see if you're saying the program's easy.
Oh, program.
You're not going through it.
Sure, as you know, I do a program in here, but I think people think you come, you just sit and listen, but you have to put the fucking work in.
Absolutely.
If you don't put it in, it's not going to work.
I remember the first 3-4 months of my program, Liam, and I wasn't putting the work in. I was messed about, doing all the things, and I remember jumping on the phone to my dad, and I was saying the right things to him, and he thought
it's working.
Getting better.
Oh yeah.
And I remember the center manager called me and saying, "Do you know you're on them phones and you're kidding your family again?" That's what hit home to me. Like, he said, "You need to step outside yourself. Take a good look at yourself, because you're just doing the same thing. You're still addiction mentality."
The beast.
And that
beast
was me, and that really hit home to me. And I'm like, he is right. I'm going to spend 11 months of my life here.
Oh, you were twisting it
and
around.
go back out into addiction manipulating and all again. You know what addiction does. Yeah. But life at the minute, Liam, as I say, it's so good. I love going back and helping others. It's so rewarding. As I say, it's great to see lives transformed and so many walking away from the life, because it just destroys everything. You know?
It does, I know. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll wrap it up, Ben, because that was a
yeah.
brilliant story,
I
Kath.
really appreciate it. Thank you for
and you're doing amazing work, so
you,
and keep it up.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So that was Kev, and if we can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was good.
That's us for this episode of Rewired for Freedom. If it hit home, Share it with someone who needs to hear it. That's how we spread this, person to person, truth to truth. Remember, the beast never sleeps. Stay conscious, stay connected, and keep building evidence that you're stronger than it. I'm Liam Keeley, and this is Rewired for Freedom. Stay switched on and stay free.